Hello, guys. Texas De La Rosa here. I am back, and I wanted to welcome you all to my channel. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Thank you for liking and subscribing, and please tell all your other friends to like and subscribe too. I'm excited to be here with you guys. So it is after Christmas, and I hope you all had a wonderful holiday season so far, and I hope you got to see your family and do all the things and you weren't working too hard. I know that the holidays are a very difficult time for a lot of us because it's like a mad dash, right, to get all things done before the end of the year. And it's, we have New Year's Eve coming up soon. And so I was kind of thinking about what topic, because I have a lot of topics that I want to go over. But what would be good for an end of year topic for us? And I think in our industry, being in the beauty industry, period, whether you're doing makeup, a laser, you're working in a salon, spa, that whatever. And something that keeps ringing true to me, and I keep seeing in so many different groups and so many different places, is people are closing up shop. They're throwing in the towel, and it's this kind of mentality that they're not good enough, they're not getting where they want to go, and it's a lot of success. It's what is successful, and being a successful artist, and I think that coming from someone who I find myself to be a successful person, I have done everything that I've wanted to do, and I've put goals out for myself, and I've achieved them all, and usually in less time than what I wanted. But I wanted to talk about that today because this isn't a brag. This is not a brag. This is something that I think that hopefully this will go into the new year with some of you that are on that cusp. You're on that precipice of where you might feel like you don't know if this is for you. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever job you're in, whatever career you're in, it's very difficult for us sometimes to see past the negative and see past where we're at currently and seeing how we're going to get to that next step and what we're going to do. And so I want to talk about things, and I've talked about a lot of this in the past with my other. I've spoke with Team Micro about this, my beginning. I've talked on other people's podcasts and other people's shows and things. I've talked about my beginnings and how I started. And I even did a video about, the PMU is PMU a get rich business, which it's not. It's not. So watch the video. But I think what happens with a lot of people, and this was a really big topic, and it kind of spurned some stuff in this thread that I was on in one of the Facebook groups, where this lady was closing shop and she was selling everything and she was getting rid of stuff. And someone posted a question afterwards and was like, why? Why do you think so many people are closing up shop? And why do you think so many people are not considering themselves quote unquote successful in the industry? And again, this can go with anybody in any industry. I think a lot of it has to do with drive. I think that a lot of people come into this world, into this beauty industry, and it is $1 billion industry, it is, and they just see dollar signs, and they think, oh, I'm going to be this really rich person really quickly, and they don't. I don't think anyone does it maliciously. I don't think anyone is doing this to like it's going to harm people, but what we do is very difficult, and the beauty industry, especially being in the permanent makeup world, cosmetic tattooing, paramedical tattoo, that kind of stuff, it is not easy. It is not easy what we do. It looks easy because the things we post on YouTube and social media and Instagram and Facebook and the reels and and it looks so simple. I mean, everyone thinks they can just go grab a machine and start tattooing people's faces after 2 days, and it's just not so. And I wanted to talk about some of that stuff today because I think that it's so important as a veteran artist and as someone who's been in the beauty industry for well over 20 years, and someone that has been around for a long time and has seen the shift in how it used to be and then how it is now. And I think that there are things that we can do as veteran artists to help the newer people in the industry come into this and realize that, it didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen, in 2 months, 3 months. And these people that are on the internet and on these websites and on these places that are saying that you can be a 6-figure artist in 2 months, That doesn't happen for everybody. If it does happen to you, and if it has happened to you, that's wonderful. And praise be to you. But it didn't happen for me. Didn't happen overnight. It most definitely wasn't something that I thought would happen even in a year, and it didn't. It took a long time for me to get where I was at in my world. And I'm a damn good artist. I take a lot of precautions. I take a lot of classes. I take all of the business things in my mind. I always take all this stuff to heart, and I work really hard. And it didn't happen for me like that. I got to this place through hard work and many, many, many classes, taking many, many, many trainings and continual education, and realizing that it's not just one thing. It's not just being a good artist. It's actually a multitude of things. It's being a self-marketer. It's being a person that people can look up to. It is a person that is going to have drive. It's a person that has a nest egg to put back so that if they're not making money, they can still keep their shop open. Things like that. There were many things that I had to sacrifice to get where I'm at. And I think it's so important, again, to talk about this stuff because, again, people think I'm just going to quit my career and jump into this new career and do 3 people a week and make, $1,800 that week and work 4 hours. It just doesn't work like that, people. It doesn't. And anyone that's promising you that is not telling you the truth. I know that this is a very lucrative industry because I do make really good money doing what I do. And I'm not trying to brag again. I'm not boasting about that, but it's because I worked really hard to get here. And I respect what I do and I respect my clients. And some of the things that I wanted to talk about were, again, starting with the basics. When people go into this industry, there are so many things they don't understand. I was just approached actually by the SPCP. SPCP. Yeah, I always get those mixed up. There's the CPCP. There's AAM. There's so many groups out there, and it's just wild. But I was just reached out to about getting into to do a talk with them, with SPCP, I said it right, because they asked me to be a speaker and next year at one of their events. And it was about, I think one of the topics they want me to talk about is machines and getting into stuff. So we're going to talk about a little bit about that today. Not in depth because I think that, this isn't a class. This is just talking about stuff. But I think that what happens with a lot of these newer artists is they get into these classes and they get into these training situations where they try to go the cheapest route. They try to go to the cheapest school. They want to use the cheapest machines. They want to use the cheapest implements, and they want to get in without spending a ton of money and then get all this return. So they spend $2,000 on their class, and it's a 2-day class, a 1-day class, whatever, and then they expect to know everything. And then they get into this world of hurt when their educator doesn't even contact them back, doesn't call them back, doesn't email them back, didn't go over all the basics to the machines. I mean, it blows my mind how many people get a machine from a class and have zero idea how to use that machine. They have no idea what it is. When you ask what kind of stroke it has, what are the type of needles that it uses, what are the volts that it goes to, what are the speeds? I mean, when you ask these questions and you see them like, just like looking at you like, I don't know, they didn't tell me that. The educator didn't tell them that, and this is some of the stuff that I'm seeing from people that actually have their name on the machine, which is quite sad, actually. I just saw someone post about that they were sad about people slapping their name on really cheap machines and then just upselling them and trying to make a profit off of it. I mean, this is a profitable business, and you know what? There's nothing, and someone else said something about nothing wrong with putting your name on a machine if it's a good device, and it's a safe device, and it's something that, will last a long time if it's a good quality device. There's nothing wrong with that, but it takes many, many years to get to a point where you can probably afford to even do that, and as a newer artist, again, I'm not talking about those people that have millions of dollars to throw away. I'm talking about the average person, the person like you and me, that probably just started off with just a little bit of a nest egg and was hoping and praying that this was the right move. What I can tell you is if you have passion behind what you're doing, it is the right move. If you love what you're doing and you love helping people, it's the right move. If you love dealing with color and working on skin, this is the right move. It is the right career for you. There will always be clients for you, but the thing is, you've got to also arm yourself with all of the knowledge. Clients don't just fall out of the sky. This is a tattoo. It is not makeup. And I say this a lot because so many people are in these groups and they ask these questions. They're like, well, what should I do here? What should I do there? And it tells me that they don't have the answer. And when you don't have the answer to a question sometimes, meaning if it's a really, in-depth question, then you shouldn't be doing it. And I think a lot of people get upset when they hear that because they don't want to hear that you shouldn't be doing something that you went to school for, you took a class for. But that doesn't mean because you took that class that you understand what you're doing. And again, I always tell people this is not makeup. It's not sitting on the skin. It's in the skin. So you have to understand skin. And I think one of the basic problems that people have when they get into these courses don't teach skin. They don't teach, they try to cram everything in to 3 or 4 hours in the morning when your class starts. And then it's hands-on right after that. And then you're doing your model the next day in 2 days. And how the hell do you know what you're doing? You don't, it's make it make sense, people. That doesn't make sense to anybody. If your clients heard that you were tattooing them after a 2-day course, what do you think that they would do? Do you think they would pay you for the work that that you're about to do on them? Do you think they would feel comfortable knowing that you'd never worked on skin in your entire career? That you were a stay-at-home mom, that you were, you were working at a restaurant, you were working at, a bank, you were doing something completely different than aesthetic work, working on skin. I would not feel comfortable going to a person like that. If I knew my tattoo artist was brand new, I probably wouldn't do it. In fact, I know I wouldn't. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't go see them. I would want to see their work, their healed work, not just the work that's done right away. I would want to see the work healed. And so a lot of these people that are going to these courses don't get this information up front. People don't want to tell you this. Well, I'm here to tell you the truth. This is the problem, I think, that what we're running into with this industry and why people are not successful is because they aren't told the importance of what they're really doing. They're not being told that they can really ruin someone, that they're not being told that this is a lot more difficult than what it is. They're being told, you're going to be a 6-figure boss babe in like 2 minutes. And it's this, again, this whole, I appreciate the lift up, the lifting up of the spirits and trying to make people feel good about the situation and that you can make it. I appreciate that, but I also appreciate the truth out there, and I appreciate the people that are telling the truth and saying, hey, this takes work. It's not going to happen overnight. And these clients aren't going to fall out of the sky wanting to pay you $800 for your brows. Sorry, it's not going to happen. Or your lips or your eyes. It's not going to happen. But when you do get to a certain point in your career, it will happen. And you will get to a point like where you are, like in my position, I will turn down people if I don't like what I hear from them, or what, if I feel like they're not doing something that they want something that I'm not going to be good for them. And it's not because, again, I don't want them as a client, but if they want something that I don't think is going to work for them, and I know another artist is out there for them, then I'll send them to them. I'm at a point in my career now where I don't really look for clients. They look for me, and that's a good part of my world, but it's again because I put myself out there. I started off at the very, very bottom and worked my way to the top with very little knowledge. Although I don't tell many people this, I was tattooing at an early age, 14 years old. I've been an artist since I was able to hold a pencil. I can draw pretty much anything I see. And that is, again, a gift that I have. And a lot of people that are artists that are in this industry have that gift, and they do well. And I always tell my students, because again, I'm an educator, and when students come to my school, A lot of my makeup artists, my people that are artistic minded tend to do really well with this. You know, my people that work in skincare industry, they tend to do really well with it. But again, they're not good just because they do this. They have to practice. They have to understand what they're doing. They have to understand what's going on underneath the surface, and that is where we run into problems. That is, I think, what is the biggest problem with why people are not successful right now. And success also is a different thing for every single person. If success to you is having, you know, one or two clients a week and doing doing other things, then you're successful. But this isn't a side gig. This is not a side gig. I see so many people also trying to work and do other jobs, and this is what I do on the weekend, and it's not a hobby. It's not a hobby. This is something that needs to be taken seriously, and because these are people that you're working on and not just tattoo skins. I really respect people that tell me that they're not ready to work on people yet and that they're going to still work on tattoo skins. And when I see this in the groups and stuff, I really respect them, because it is so devastating when I see things happen where people are now needing emergency removal and they're having to seek an artist in their area that can help them get something fixed. And it's not an easy fix. I mean, this is not easy what we do, and it's not easy to get rid of it either. Let me tell you, I do a ton of removals and color corrections, but again, most of my clients need removal. I mean, and this is coming from a lot of bad education out there. This is coming from a lot of bad training. This is coming from a lot of people that are hyping you up and telling that you can do this in 2 days. You can't. I promise you, it's very difficult. Understanding just the vocabulary of what we do is tricky. And most people, and this is really sad, guys, I see this from a lot of people that have been in this industry for 1 and 2 and 3 years. They don't even understand the vocabulary. They don't even know sometimes what a stroke is, or a cam, or what a grip is when you call it something. They just don't even know. They don't know about universal cartridges. I see some of them that are just using what they got from their school, and they're still buying it from their school, and that's all they use. And I do got to say that I was one of those people that only used the 1RL. How many people were out there that did that for the longest time, because I was afraid of using other needle groupings because I wasn't taught with them. And I was taught way before there was Facebook groups and Instagram and YouTube to watch and all that stuff. So again, for me, it was really interesting to see this new progression. And you can get so much good information from these groups, but you can also get really bad information too. And that's why I always really stress to a lot of people, take a lot of this stuff with a grain of salt, because there are some really good artists out there that are trying to help other artists learn stuff. And then there are some people out there that are just, they want to help you, but I don't think they're doing it maliciously, but they're spouting out stuff. It's like parrots. It's like a parrot. They hear it and then they say it, but they don't know what they're saying, So it's like they're hearing from what their artist or their trainer said, and they took that 1 day, 2 day course, and now they're trying to help Susie over here that had a question about something because they learned it yesterday, but they don't even know really what's going on yet themselves. And so again, it's very difficult sometimes to manage that. And that's why I started my group. That's why I started CTP, because I wanted to make sure that people were getting good information and understanding the truth about the industry. And that's why I started this YouTube channel. I mean, to put these videos out there so that you guys can watch this and understand and hear it from somebody who didn't have thousands and thousands of dollars to throw into this industry. And when I first started, and I was very young and didn't understand a lot of the things, and I didn't get the best education, and I didn't really care for my trainers, my first ones. So I know what it's like to be in your shoes, and I know what it's like to feel kind of thrown to the wolves and be nervous about the situation. But the problem I have now with the industry is that, again, it's becoming very saturated with a lot of very, very new artists that don't understand what they're doing, and they just don't understand it because it's not being trained well. It's not being given to them. The information isn't being given to them. And one of my things that I'm doing, and I'm revamping my classes for next year, is I'm making sure that I want to overachieve all of the things. As I'm trying to, what the word I'm looking for, I'm trying to not overcompensate, but like I'm trying to just share more And I just want you guys to have so much more. And I feel like you deserve it when you pay for a class. And that's what's so important. And you need to find a trainer like this. Am I saying come to me? No. Yes, I'd love for you to, but I'm not for everybody. And that's okay. But, I want you to find a trainer that is going to help you grow. Someone that's going to answer that email and not just look at it and keep on going. Someone who's going to answer your text when you have a question. I had a past student just reach out to me today, and we had a long 30-minute conversation while I was filming some stuff earlier. And that's the type of person I am, because she needed some help with some stuff, and I'm going to help you. That's what my job is. That's what my career is now. I'm at a point in my career where I want to help others get where I'm at and not have to stress out so much and not be so irritated that they took this course from so-and-so or took this, training, and then it turned out to be crap. And then they're now subjected to, well, now I don't know how I'm going to start my business, or how I'm going to continue my business, or how I'm going to get clients. All that is so devastating for a new artist, because there's so much more that comes into this world than just getting a class and taking a course and then getting that one model and then going off and then starting your business. Like, it just doesn't happen for most people like that. I've seen some really, really good artists that were in my courses, and I was like, wow, they're going to do really big things. And they did. And then I've seen some that I really thought were going to do really well, and then they just didn't do anything with it at all because it was way too hard. And that's sad, because I wanted to be there for them. And one of my students, I'll never forget, she was so sweet, and she was like, her company had sent her to come to take some courses. I don't remember if she only took one course from me. I think she only did. But I remember her telling me that when she took my course, she was like, this ain't for me. She was like, you're an amazing educator, and I love your course, and I love what you do, but this ain't for me. I ain't gonna do it. And I'm gonna tell my bosses that I may have to pay them back or something, because I'm not touching nobody's skin like this. And I respected that so much from her, because she was a badass and a really cool person. And she was like, no way. She's like, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and I don't want to do this. And that happens too, but for those of you out there that really, really, really want to do this and you want to make it happen, it will happen. But you need to find a mentor, and you need to find someone that is there to help you. And if your educator is not helping you, then you wasted some money. You did. And that's a sad situation that a lot of people are in, because I can promise you that it happens to more than I see it happen at least once or twice a day in the groups that I'm in on Facebook and so forth, seeing people that are questioning, what they're doing and what's going on. And I'm like, go back to your educator. And well, I tried, and they don't get back to me, or I called and they seem irritated, or they're real short with me now because they said that I should have go back and read stuff. And I keep hearing all that. And that's so darn devastating to me that these educators are calling themselves educators and they're not educating. It's a problem. And I think that education is a get rich quick thing. I think that is a get rich quick, because if you have 7 people in your course, or 10 people, or 20 people at, $3,000. I mean, you're looking at some big money. And I know people that are charging that and cramming them in like sardines, and when you spend $3,000 and there's 14 people, that's $42,000. Just did the math right there. I don't do math. I had to count in my head. And then I was like, oh, let's just use the phone. $42,000 for 3 days, or a 2-day course. And guess what? 12 of those people probably won't know what the hell they're doing in the industry, and that's the sad part. So what I wanted to talk about and get into is really tell you guys to be successful in the career that you're in. You have to have drive. You have to have the will to know that it's not going to be easy. You have to understand it's going to be hard. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be a lot of trial and error at first on what's going to work for your market, how to market yourself. Sometimes it's videos, sometimes it's pictures. I will say one thing to most people though, that still drives them, like, they're like, what? It's word of mouth for me, because I don't pay for advertising on my social media. I don't boost posts. I don't pay for ads. And so many people I see are paying for Facebook ads and Instagram ads and stuff, and I don't do it. I don't. But I mean, I do also put myself out there. And by putting myself out there, I mean that I am out in the trenches. I'm out meeting people all of the time. I always have a business card on me, and I always have this guy, my little dot on the back of my phone, where I can tap someone's phone and it gives them my website and my website information. And it's stuff like that that I think a lot of people, especially the newer artists, don't understand that. They don't understand what it's like to get out there and hustle like I had to when I was first in the industries. We didn't have any of this Facebook and social media. It wasn't a thing. So it's such a weird way of thinking, I think, for some people, is that they have to actually go out and meet people to get work done. One of my students, I'm so damn proud of her, Amanda. She's a hustler, man. She's Ubering, and she's working. She just opened up her spot on out in the mall at one of the salons, and I'm just so proud. I'm gonna go see her actually soon and see her new spot. And I'm so proud of her because she is such a hustler. She's such a hard worker, and she beats the streets. She was like, I'm going to go out to the mall and give, flyers out to people. And I've got some things made. And she's always sending me like questions like, does this logo look better? And I love helping people like that because I know that she's in it to win it. She's there to make a difference. And she's not trying to just take one little course and then go about her merry business and then try to be a millionaire and 7 figures in 2 months, and I see it all the time. You know who they are out there selling that song and dance to you, and it just doesn't happen, guys. It doesn't happen. I know that there are some people that it does work for like that. I'm not saying it didn't happen to everybody, but it's definitely not something I see happen all the time, and it sure as hell didn't happen for me. So I want to talk about success and what success means to me. I think success is being happy in your career, being able to be comfortable in your life and not have to worry about, because guys, I've had to worry. I told that story about how I used to eat beans and rice from my job, and I lived off of that, and red sauce and pasta for my other job, and that's what I ate for like ever. And then it was canned tuna and salsa and black beans. I've been there. I've been in that situation. I'm not anymore. And it's nice to have the things that I have, and nice to be in a situation where I don't worry about money, and I'm not worried about things, and things like that. But I do still remember those days, and I'm very humbled by those days because they brought me up to who I am now. And it's always made me feel better knowing that I know where I came from. Let's put it that way. And I think a lot of people, again, get in this industry because they want to make that money really quickly, but it just doesn't happen. So if you are having trouble in the industry and you are nervous about where you're at and you don't understand how to get from point A to point B, just shoot a message to me down there below, and I would be happy to help you. Again, my school is called Beauty Cosmetic Institute. We are a small school. We are not some large, huge company. We are a small school, just 2 people that work there right now, me and my boss and my partner. I call her my boss, Monica. She's my boss at the spa, and she's my business partner with Beauty Cosmetic Institute, and she helps run CTP as well. But it's just us 2, and so we understand we are starting this thing, and we're really happy to have our brick and mortar. But we are here to customize and make classes for people that need help. So when someone contacts us, and someone just emailed me yesterday, and they were like, "Hey, I just took this course." This happens to me all the time. I just took this course, and I still don't understand what the heck I'm doing. And the first thing I asked them was, did you contact your educator again and say, hey, I'm still having questions? Yeah, but they just feel really kind of like, I don't feel like they really want to help me. That is a horrible situation. And I'm glad to help that person, but I feel really bad that they're going to have to pay now 2 times to get education, because again, if they want to take an advanced course, we're going to have to pay for it, and it sucks because that's not something that I think anyone should have to do when they're already putting thousands of dollars towards their education. So again, success comes from understanding all of this, seeing the big picture. Okay. Where do you want to be? Setting your goals. Where do you want to be in 5 years, 10 years, 15? How much hard work are you willing to put into it? How much money have you saved up to get where you're going? So if you can't work or if you don't have clients for X amount of days, that you've got money still to pay your bills and to make sure you can eat and make sure that you can still do what you need to do in your life to be comfortable, where you're not nervous or living and waiting for that next paycheck. That's a very, very scary place to be. And I've been there, and it's not smart. And so again, a lot of people don't understand the business side of this too. It's not cheap to start a business. It is not cheap. There are licenses you have to get. There are the classes, there's the insurance, there's the machines, the pigments, all of the implements that come into play, bloodborne pathogens, everything costs money, guys. And it's a lot. So I just feel like this video needed to be about success and what is successful to me. And again, what successful means to you and how to get there. And again, I think that so many people think success is money. You know, success is not money to me. It's not. I granted, love it, love money, love it. But it's not what makes me feel successful. What makes me feel successful is seeing my artists, my younger artists, come to me and know that I'm there to help them. That makes me feel successful. When my clients are crying because they love what I've done for them, whether it be brows, lips, eyes, whatever, laser hair removal. I had a lady the other day that was almost in tears because of her chin. We've been getting rid of her chin hairs, and that is a big deal for some people, guys. I'm telling you. You know, it is just one of those things where it's just, I love what I get to do every day. I love that I get to go to work and help people feel good about themselves. And I love that I get to help others get into this industry and then take that passion and turn it into something fantastic. And so, again, I think when we're looking at success and what success should be for 2023 for a lot of you is to take a real good step back and take a look at the big picture and say, where are you in this picture? Where do you feel you are? And if you have any doubt or any question about any of this stuff, then contact me. If you can't contact your old educators, if you feel like they don't want to help you, if you're just lost, or maybe you can't find them, you know, that happens too. That happened to me. One of my trainers just gone. Couldn't find that person. I Googled, looked, when nothing was, I went to websites, nothing was there. So that happens. If that happens, contact me because I'm happy to help. And I just hope that you guys have anyone out there that's struggling. I hope that you find that path for you. I bartended for many, many years, guys, to get where I'm at too, just to supplement income. I mean, I had to do it, you know, I had to do that. I bartended for 22 years, you know, and it's crazy because I didn't have to at the end of the years, but I did it because I also liked getting that my face out there in the industry, you know, other industries and meeting people, you know, sometimes you got to think outside the box and do this kind of stuff. And, but I did that for a long time because I couldn't just live off of my paycheck for makeup and then permanent makeup. And, you know, and then I just kind of was doing it just because I wanted to. But sometimes you have to do other things to get where you are. Meaning, if you need to take other courses to maybe, and look in your market too, what are people needing from you? You know, if people are only asking you for eyeliner, but you're doing brows and lips, well, you need to add eyeliner. You know, if there's something you can take like henna or brow threading or something like that to add to your resume, removals, then that's maybe something you should do too as well. You know, but again, I think it's sometimes thinking outside the box, and I just wanted to put this out there for you guys that are worried, or if you're nervous, if you can put pen to paper and write out what you want to do and where you want to be in the next 5 years, and look at it and then attack that as a plan and say, this is what I'm going to do to get there. And this is maybe what I'm going to have to do to get there. Then I promise you, you will. There's always a way, guys. There's always a way to do what you want in this world. And I can promise you, if I can do it, you can do it. I swear to you. I am not special. I did not have any great financier in the backgrounds. I didn't have some sugar daddy. I didn't have a sugar mama. I didn't have a nest egg that was just ever flowing. It was scrimp and save a lot of times, and you know, to get where I'm at. And now I can do things that I want to do, but it took a long time to get here. And you will get there. You will. I promise you. It won't happen in 2 months. It won't happen maybe in 6 months. But it will happen. It will get there. With determination and with hard work, anything can be done. And with the right help, if you have the right help. And that means if you don't have the right help, then you need to find someone to help you. And I've said it again, I'm here to help. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make sure that you do the right thing and make the right choices. And just know, I'm not going to blow smoke up your butt either. I'm not going to tell you the sugar-coated thing you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you the things that sometimes, are being strewn across social media and guaranteed six figures. And I'm not going to say that to you, because guess what? It doesn't happen all the time. And I cannot guarantee that for you. It took a while for me to hit six figures. It did. And let me tell you, when it happened, it was a cool thing. But let me tell you, even then, so that wasn't my success mark for me. That wasn't a successful mark for me. It was just, again, my success comes from my happiness, and that's a big thing for a lot of people. I'm happy where I'm at, and I want you to be happy. So take this into 2023. I hope that this doesn't seem like a bunch of rambling, but I did feel called to talk about this today because I've seen it too many times in the last couple of days where people are ending shop. They're like, 2022 is a bust, I'm out, and I'm just going to start a whole new thing. You don't have to do that. But if you do, and if you've done that, I'm sorry. And I wish you well, and I hope that things work out better for you. But I really do think that there are people out there that can help you. And sometimes it's just asking the right person for help. We all got to do it. And I'm a very stubborn person. Trust me, I'm a very stubborn person, and I don't like asking for help. I don't want anyone to do things for me. I want to do everything on my own, and even I need help. So there you go. All right, guys, I'm going to let you go. Again, please like and subscribe. Please tell your friends to like and subscribe. This channel has a little bit of everything. All of my videos that are pertaining to permanent makeup will say CTP in parentheses, so you'll know that that's a video for you. And then if you want to watch my makeup videos or my other videos, and soon my new YouTube will be my Texas Shares podcast. I have something really cool about that I'm so excited. I've got some really great people that are lined up that I want to interview and talk to, and I think it's going to be something that will be really cool. So stay tuned. That'll all be on my channel at Texas De La Rosa here on YouTube. So stay tuned for all of that stuff. And again, guys, this will be my last video before the new year. Of course, there'll be new videos coming out next week. But again, New Year's Eve is tomorrow. I think, no, it's tomorrow. Yeah. So anyways, all right, guys, have a wonderful day. Again, if you're not in CTP, Cosmetic Tattoo Professionals, that is my group on Facebook. We also have an Instagram as well. Please look us up. Make sure to answer the questions on Facebook, and admin will look at it and make sure everything gets approved. And other than that, guys, I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful New Year's Eve. I hope everyone's safe, be smart, be kind, and I will see you guys next year.